pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before the executive session, I'd like to bring up, would Sarah be a sheriff? Is she a deputy? No, I'm not sworn in yet. Sarah is the new addition to our sheriff's office, and she is, yeah, and she is going to lead bond and tracking.
Yep.
And public outreach for the sheriff's office. If you want to explain a little bit about the process, and
Sure.
the intro.
Sure. Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak here this morning. This is Evan Lesher. He's going to be the handler for our canine, Sarah. Sarah's a 14-month-old German short-haired pony. We just acquired her on Friday. We brought her home. She actually just got off the plane from the Czech the day prior to. So she has her own little passport. She's going to be a dual purpose dog. She's going to be explosives and tracking. So right now it's a multi-phase process. The process that part of the process we're in now is the marriage phase. So the handler and the dog bond at this point in time. She's going to go to training at Rocket Canine. They'll train for between 8 to 12 weeks. So he'll take her there to do all the training. Hopefully it's on the shorter end of that. They did testing with her out there to show all the dogs off, and she did excellent. So we're really impressed with her. We're very happy with her. She seems to have had a very positive experience here in the courthouse. Everybody that wants to smiles. So as far as PR, she's doing a great job. I'd like to thank the commissioners for your support with the project. I'd like to thank Kevin Sobran from our emergency management agency. He was instrumental in helping us get this through the South Central Task Force. The task force paid for the canine, which is a pretty expensive price, and they're going to pay for all the training of the animal. So we're very appreciative to them for that. The only caveat is if there is an incident within South Central Task Force, we're required to respond to it, which I think is a pretty good trade-off. We dealt with 3 incidents last year in our county involving explosives, and we went how it's going. So to have her on staff, we're real happy about it. We're real happy about the program. Thank you. I hope everybody gets an opportunity to meet her on the way out. We're going to hang out as long as we can. We have a lot going on this morning, as you can see by all the cars, but we'll try to keep her around so everybody gets an opportunity to meet her. Nice work, sir. Thank you.
We're gonna have to tell this. Once you come to that, we have to have a thing for it.
Yeah.
That's how you talk. Chris, that's how you talk to your public others.
Sorry.
So that's something neat for the courthouse. Let's move on. Well, you gotta talk that.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, commissioners. Good morning. Chris Maloney, Norwegian Township. Of course, I would ask that you refrain from any interruptions until after my 3 minutes. Myself and others from the public have ongoing issues and concerns regarding discrepancies between physical properties, county assessment records, and information reflected on CAMA cards. Residents continue identifying situations where the actual property does not match the CAMA data. I personally identified a property in District 20, Norwegian Township, currently reflected as vacant land with an approximate value of $45,200 with $0 in improvements, despite the property containing an occupied dwelling conservatively over $300,000. In addition to that property, I identified 2 other properties containing inaccurate or false information within the assessment records. Several members of the public have also identified commercial properties incorrectly classified as residential properties, including 1 operating bar with a liquor license. So the concern from the public is simple. If the reassessment system depends heavily on the CAMA accuracy, then how can taxpayers be expected to simply trust the system? when the underlying data itself may be inaccurate or incomplete. We have now made it through the assessment cycle, the reassessment cycle. At this point, the public should reasonably expect to begin seeing accurate property records and values reflected within the system. Is the county assessment office short-staffed? Are software limitations creating challenges for staff to efficiently review and verify property data? Does the office have adequate tools and resources available, including updated satellite imagery, measuring equipment, mobile hardware, and field technology needed to improve accuracy and efficiency? The public should not have to become assessors or appraisal experts just to verify whether their own property record is accurate. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Later, public comment?
Morning, Lisa Von Ron, Pottsville. Um, I was wondering on the agenda, there's an adjustment to P Corp, is that in relation to the, their decision not to cover, 287G?
No.
Is there anything, has anything happened in terms of getting insurance for?
We are looking into coverage for sheriff's office.
Okay, cause it's the 27th, do you expect to get that done in time for? And right now, it seems like the county didn't follow the state Supreme Court order on mail-in ballots for during the primary election. Letting people know that their mail-in ballots are deficient if they don't have if they're not signed or if they don't have a date. I brought it up last week. Has there been any kind of action on?
Well, like I said, election board, anyone that did not either sign it or date it was reported to the sheriff system, and the sheriff system not contacted the board.
Oh, they did this in the primary?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They enter everything into the shore system. The county doesn't do it physically itself.
No,
Like, we don't contact individual person. We enter it into the state system, the shore system. Then I guess the shore system doesn't.
One board did come in.
yeah, this person said like an automated email.
Okay, so what person did come into the, like, to the altar board at originally. We discussed that on Tuesday or meeting. So the sheriff system notifies the person that one person did come in. And if not, so the problem, available ballot for the person.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. So obviously that practice will continue.
Yes, it's a state. You have to enter it into the shore system. So,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Any other public comment?
Good morning, Commissioner. I sent you all an email yesterday, and I also sent it to Mr. Vander. And I would like to, before I even start any of this, is there are you still approving the plan?
Yeah, we're gonna table it because they get some information, but you know, you have to believe this. You got some people saying it's too restrictive to data centers, and some people saying it doesn't do enough for data centers. So it's like, it spans from one extreme all the way to the next extreme.
So it's tabled.
It's gonna be tailored, we're gonna refer it to planning and zoning, so we give them all the information that we got from, probably have about 4 or 5 people email or call regarding it.
Okay.
On both ends of the spectrum.
Okay, could you tell me when the planning meeting?
June 10th.
Is it here?
Yes.
It's in that.
Well, they're another part, they're at the same time as the night meeting. It's the same time as the night meeting. June.
Oh, just in time for the meeting.
Right. Well, no, you know, we did that to have an extra meeting, so I didn't have to pay for extra security without it having extra cost, because we're already hoping that night planning meeting.
Right.
So we added some extra night meetings for the commissioners thing, and that way I didn't have to pay sheriff's office and everybody overtime, they're already here that night.
That's troubling.
Well, that's called saving money.
It's the way,
Okay.
And that's what it was, they only met 2 times a year.
we've had night meetings, the way it was going.
Okay, would there be any way to submit comments to the planning commission?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's gonna be on their agenda, they will post their agenda on the website, they are in the process of gathering information. I talked to Susan Smith a while ago about starting to get information on what other counties do, what other communities do, what other states do, what the data centers. But you must remember that it's a little less than 50% that the county actually has in its planning zone. All the rest are individual municipalities. Like Tamaqua has that southern or Schuylkill
Eastern.
eastern
Yeah, I see.
thing, that group there, and then like Twain Township has their own planning and zoning. There's many municipalities that have their own planning and zoning, their own style. So we have no control over their, what they decide to plan, what they want to do. We only have it, the municipalities that refer to the county for planning.
Okay, so who takes,
You can submit a public comment to Susan Smith, she's our planning director, or you can come to the meeting, and just
I
like.
have two exciting meetings all in one night, I just.
Really, yeah, it's very impressive,
I'm gonna make Shelby cover both.
yes,
As the
maybe one
attorney.
attorney can cover both.
You could just stand in the middle of the door. You can stand in the middle of the door.
Do like a split screen on the big TV right there.
They do those by,
It is live.
yeah, that's also live stream as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so bombarded with information, I guess we could all like pay attention to two things at once. I have to just comment on the very last sentence, and it's, what I call the screen key. The core message of turning the county's industrial history into its next economic chapter. So do we want to go back to being a coal country again? I mean, I respect our heritage tremendously. I had two grandfathers die of black lung, not that that's a flag of, pride, but, I don't want to see us go in that direction again, because we're still trying to clean up that legacy. It's a wonderful history. I'm happy we feel the Industrial Revolution, 2 world wars, but what's this data center explosion doing for us,
Well, that's,
besides taxes?
well, jobs, it will create jobs. It will create, people, this is the next answer. If data centers aren't in the United States, they're gonna be somewhere else. You're gonna control our information in other countries. What I'm trying to say is why not take coal lands that are not by any homes or any properties, and if they're done responsibly, why not on coal lands?
I agree, and that's a unique thing.
Because we have that ability in this county that we have, so
Right.
on the coal.
But when I looked at, then I did scrutinize this grid plan as best as I could. I tried to find the feasibility study that was
These
recommended.
we're referring to that, that's a study that's going to be started shortly.
Okay.
So we wanted to make sure that that was included in the feasibility study. That's why that's referring to that.
What's the that?
It's referring, the reason that plan was first the feasibility study, we're making sure the feasibility study goes out, that they understand, and we want them to specifically look. Also, where data centers will be located, to identify areas that, are around homes, that have the infrastructure, that will impact the community greatly by noise or visual or anything. So we wanna make sure that was included in it.
I think that'd be a wonderful idea to reuse that historical legacy that we.
Well, that's what we're trying to look at.
I mean, I know
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
that. You're fine.
Okay, but again, I'm happy that you're tabling this, and my last thing, I was going to ask you to call for a moratorium until we do figure this out, because there's so much vagueness and so much ambiguity.
Like I said, if we would call for moratorium, it would only affect 48% or less of the county. Right now, any of the data center projects that are going on right now in this county are under local planning and zoning.
So when the county plan is in effect,
It
does that supersede
No.
anything else?
Nope,
No,
it is only on what is in the county's planning and zoning.
Okay.
An individual municipality that have their own planning and zoning, their own saldo, they can set their own rules and regulations, their own areas where they are. And this is just like, the reason this has to be looked at, because if you can't just deny use,
Right.
you have to specifically pick an area and location that they can be.
Right.
So that's why this is trying to be addressed, trying to be proactive on it, to try to
Okay,
address those issues.
okay, will the public have any comment besides sending comments in?
Yeah, so this is gonna take, it's gonna take a couple of process of planning and zoning to get through.
Okay.
And again,
That's
it's
good to
depends on
know,
what we have.
I've stated was a little frightening, so
Yeah.
like, here's
Well-
the thing, and there's a 3-day holiday, and then we're gonna vote on it.
And it's still a guideline that just means this is the guideline the planning and zoning board.
Okay.
That's all that would meant.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you for your time.
What is there?
Morning.
What's Eric and then?
Right now, 2 minutes.
Yeah, you already have
Yeah. Jeff Uncle, 6 people not here at 9:30 this morning, all making about $100,000 a year salary and benefits. Hoots, I guess you were stuck in traffic. I know when I go to a doctor's appointment, if I'm 5 or 10 minutes late, they cancel it and charge you. You know, there's traffic every day on that grade, and leave a little earlier, maybe be here at 8:30 when you're supposed to be. Sit here delaying the whole meeting. Seems as though Sarah, referring to her, she's probably gonna work more hours in this courthouse than most of the row office people. So it's good to have somebody like that here. Ms. Stevens and the right to know still haven't gotten the proper paperwork. The paperwork that you guys sent to me states that Mr. Opake can release what he has. So,
That is on the
That-
DA.
correct.
It's in their discretion to follow the.
Right, but he specifically told me if we're gonna go back and forth all my time.
You do, Jeff.
I know, but
Okay, yeah, also.
he specifically told me that the Attorney General denied, which is 100%.
That's the Attorney General's policy. And it's up to the county if we want to also follow that policy, and that would be our policy as well.
Okay, I see no documentation on it. All it says is it's up to you.
Provided the email, provided.
Where the Attorney General says this is what we do. If I send it to the Attorney General, they would deny it. But they could release it. I could release it.
Yes, it's in his discretion.
Yes.
Then they have discretion on the right to know request, and the policy is that it wouldn't be released as investigator.
And the county has a policy like that?
That's the policy we're following, is that's the exemption we're using. And Jeff,
So-
you have appeal rights to that.
So, right, there is documentation that are being denied, is what I'm getting at, which is,
No,
I mean, it's a piece of paper, why is it being denied? It's,
but I guess, what are you looking for, a written policy?
I'm looking for the response from the Attorney General.
That's what we said, that's what we gave you.
That's not what you said. You sent me the response
That's
of
what
my
we have.
request.
That's what we have.
I keep keeping the course. I'll bring it up every month until the deal goes. I know.
Right, yeah, that's,
State
yeah,
says that we have to release.
You're also the one Larry, that told me file it to get it, and then when I got it, it's totally different.
Originally, we wanted the email chain.
Correct.
And that's,
that's what we.
Well, I'm like, I was wrong. That was from that.
that was the email chain that we provide. The rest was all, protected under whatever way to know laws or.
But it's not protected, that's what that says.
Well, that's what it
If I give it to the Attorney General, it's protected, that's their policy.
And it's
But I can release it.
No, I can't release it, no.
Yes, it could.
Yeah, if you appeal the response, if that's the county response, and then you should appeal to the OOR, if that's.
And if they say the door has to be released, then
That's fine. Just make it jump through hoops for one email is absolutely insane. For somebody that ran a payroll scheme that just gave a slap on the wrist and is still working in the building through a third-party agency.
Wasn't here for any.
I say, yeah,
She's not in the employee of the county.
I said a third-party agency working in the county.
That's a third party agency, not.
Well,
Okay.
we'll keep visiting that.
Okay.
Miss Gaffney, her FMLA claim, sure she's not here today, there's probably no tour. Still waiting on her to come and explain that. The missing evidence, President Judge stated that on record. I keep asking, has any of this missing evidence been found? I mean, is it crucial to any trials that are pending or coming up? It's mind blowing that that statement was made on record. And we have no idea on the missing evidence.
That's the difference.
Going back to last week's comments, the joint campaign, he definitely took $250 on September 26th of 2023 from Frank Promise for the Larry and Boots campaign. Boots, you also took $1,500 on April 20th, 23.
That was one of your biggest donors, if not the biggest donor.
That's not true.
And then,
He wasn't the biggest one.
what did I just say? He's either your biggest or one of the biggest donors of your campaign.
He was
He was not one of the biggest donors.
not that close.
Okay.
All that stuff, I was
So-
told that, hold on, check the record. I was told that we did not pay, I specifically said that, so I will look.
You were gonna do that last week.
No, I was told we did.
Okay, definitely did. It's on the campaign finance report, ones I have the dates. And then also, Boots campaign funneled money into the joint one, which inadvertently is all got done, all that money. So I'm urging you guys, if you really care about the people of the West End, stop supporting people like this. Send the 1750 back to him and show that you're standing behind the people that are terrorized by his moves. I mean, the Mr. Miller out there, the stuff's right in his backyard. It's disgusting.
I thought they were supposed to spread it. I'm addressing that tomorrow.
Right. And it should be. And the last question I have, because I got multiple calls and messages about it. Were you in a little fender bender last week with somebody else's vehicle? And it was one of the riches?
Yes,
Okay,
I gave a ride to the airport.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other public comment? If not, we'll move on to meeting. The motion to approve the minutes from the May 13th meeting. The rule was shown. Second, any question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes. The motion to approve the work session minutes from May 21st. So moved, Chairman. Second, any question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve, children youth presented in the work session? So moved, Chairman. Second, any question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes. Can I also approve presented by the legislation? So moved, sir. Second. A question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes. The motion to approve was presented by the National Relations. So moved, sir. Second. Question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes. The motion to present was done, was presented by the NIS department. So moved, sir. Second. A question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes. The motion to present approval was presented by Ryan Communications. So moved, Chairman. Second. The question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes. That motion to approve was presented at the Office of Senior Services. So moved, sir. Second. On the question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes. Yes. That motion to approve was presented by real estate engineering. So moved, sir. Second. On the question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes. That motion to approve was presented by the solicitor's office. So moved, sir. Second. On the question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes. Motion to approve the treasurer's report. So moved, sir. Second. Question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Financial.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have two items for informational purposes only. Occurring your budget adjustment maintenance for $100,000 that we're going to use for 77. And then on behalf of adult probation, the road department, they're asking for the immediate approval of a supplemental budget appropriation resolution in the amount of 24,000.
Make a motion to approve the, and I'll second. Have a question?
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner
I just want a question on that maintenance, just to highlight that went for the extra snow removal is not knowing, how much winter weather we had. As anybody knows, the winter was not the easiest thing, so that's what that, I just wanted to bring that up.
That is correct.
Any illustration? So we're gonna table this.
Yeah.
For, let's cruise out and we got some information, we got some good information from the outside, so. We'll enter the planning zone. Human resource officer.
Morning. First, we have correct those at the corrected officer full-time, who was the corrected officer part-time. At a salary of $1.4555, effective 6/1/26, and the rate is per union contract. Under information on domestic relations, the appointment of term position as a case officer, date effective 6/8/26, and the rate is per union contract. And all appointments are physical and all actions involving salary. Corporate position created their pending salary order.
There's a motion for the prison.
So, sir, second?
Question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
New business.
Yes, for this matter.
Yes, Commissioners, we have, the approval of the addendum to the contract 2013-176 and payment of people insurance program for property loss and liability for the contract period June 1st, 2026 to June 1st, 2027, for a total cost of $835,607. And the payment will be broken down into 40%, 30, and 30, through June 1st, September 1st, and December 1st, at an amount of $334,243, $50,683, and the same for the December payment.
Before we make a motion, I just want to make a statement because there was questions about this. When we found out the sheriff's office, we entered into it, he called the board and asked if we have covered. We have an email from them saying, yes, we have covered. They decided arbitrarily, right before our renewal, that they weren't gonna cover this anymore, and leave the county surrounding, that's why it was late time to find the insurance. Then he came to us and said, we've been discussing this since December, they never gave us any notification at all, that entire time, that they were gonna exclude coverage for the CS, 287 G plan. They never told, originally they told us we had coverage. And then all of a sudden, the last minute, they changed that again, so that's why the late is adopting that. Because we were trying to get clarification from it on what they're actually doing, so that's why.
Thanks for pointing that out. None of this.
Yeah. Yeah, because we usually create money for pay for supplemental coverage, so we be on top of the county's target. So, but there's P Corps still trying to work on some kind of answer because they're the only actuary in the entire country that denies coverage. So we're a little disappointed with how they handle it.
Yeah, the research in the local police for the city of Pottsville and the municipalities have a different co-op, here's part of their coverage. Sean thought he was, and then the question is the point of, well, he's doing certain things that are outside the scope of the job. Well, the trouble was, he's been a sheriff for how long, deputy sheriff for over a decade. So he doing the same thing for himself, what, and if we are covered, what else are we doing this not covered? So he, pretty super guy kind of stood up, pushed back and said, listen, they said there's a comment, well, each case will be divided separate. Well, you walk in to the body shop and say, my car, my fender covered, they're not covered, my fuel covered, they're not covered. We should our covered, so we're, kind of depending commissioner now, but we can push back and say, tell us what we have coverage for, and what else we're doing that we are not covered, so you kind of put a spin on what we, and like I said, people is the only travelers not doing this, all the cooperative group, the municipalities, like it's the only insurance company in the whole world that's not covering this situation. The sheriff is doing his normal duties. He's not going out and race, knocking outdoors down and doing, and doing like how the chief does. He's doing what he's doing, but the judge tells him to do stuff. So we did some shopping at Glitz on the price.
Yeah, we found a company, they're about $10,000 a year, do the coverage, like I said, we can pay for it, or through the grant money. But P Corps did say that go back to their board because some of the board members believe that the sheriff is doing something outside of their normal duties. You know, it's just within their confines of their normal duties. So there's still some confusion on it, but with this insurance policy, we exited P Corps cost of $14 for how much you have to pay, get 4 years of premium plus half a year, even to leave that. So that's why we looked into it. That's why it's being adopted right before the deadline. So we were trying to get clarification. So we have a motion.
I'll make that motion, sir.
Second. On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Heatherington,
The motion to adjourn.
Almost, sir.
Salary board. Report of any executive sessions.
no,
Public comment for salary board.
I'm back.
Gotta use that high pitched voice. Stop. Or Donald Duck. Did you know?
All right, good morning, commissioners. Again, Chris Malefsky, Norwegian Township. Sort of sat on this one and thought about it a little last night. I would like to just briefly address an issue regarding professionalism and respect during last week's meeting. During the discussion between yourself, Chairman Fedora, and Ms. Clara Woodcount, who's not here today, there were two county's employees that had left the meeting, whether they were responding to work matter or returning to offices for other reasons. And I want to make that clear. However, while leaving, a comment stating, "Get them to shut up," was factually overheard by myself and directed towards another county employee who did not respond. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding their departure from the room, the comment was inappropriate and disappointing to hear during a public meeting. Residents take their time out of their schedules each week to attend these meetings, stay informed, and participate in county government. Whether citizens agree or disagree with discussions taking place before this board, the public deserves professionalism and respect from everyone representing Schuylkill County. I am intentionally not identifying whether these individuals were associated with a row office or a county department, because the larger issue is about conduct and public perception. The actions and comments made by the county representatives inside this room reflect on the county government as a whole. I simply ask that everyone involved in county government, elected officials, staff, employees alike, remember professionalism, patience, respect matters, especially during moments of disagreement or tense discussion. Thanks for your time, guys.
Is there a public comment for salary board?
Good morning. My name is John Powers from Pottsville. I'm not really good with computers, but I have watched the meetings for many months now. And I was a teacher in the Pottsville area school district for 41 years. I was the dean of students for a number of those years. And what I want to get to is during that time, Republican and Democrat lawmakers who did not know squat about education forced educators in school districts to follow certain things because of politics. And both parties were absolutely guilty. I fought most of them. It did not hear me in the administration, but I made it very clear that very often this was not in the best interest of the student. And that is our job, the best area for the and the best interest for a student. So I stood up to a lot of it, took some grief. I actually call them at times misinformed politicians who have never been in a classroom. And I resented it. But when the time came and they said we had to do it, I did it. I did it. I wasn't isolated. The reason I'm here today is, and I'm going to speak directly to this confinement area in Tremont. As commissioners, I would ask you to stand by the people who put you in those seats, the majority of which are against this idea for a myriad of reasons. And I've heard at least two of you say you don't want to get into the politics. Gentlemen, politics has everything to do with it at times. And I'm asking you today, despite the politics, to stand up individually
and say you are against this travesty that they're looking to bring into the Tremont area. I think the people of Schuylkill County deserve to know that you're with them. Thank you.
Then motion to approve the minutes for the May 13th meeting, so moved, Jeremy.
Second,
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner,
yes,
Then I motion to approve the minutes for the May 21st meeting.
so moved, sir. Second,
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
yes,
Commissioner.
yes,
Human resources, personnel agency.
I'm not there.
Okay, any new business? Motion to adjourn. Here, this is the last row.
Yeah, my office, we all.
Oh, Troy.
It's already answered.
Sorry.